This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my video ranking all the Arrowverse characters. With it, I'll be looking at them from least favorite to most favorite, and with it, I'm also considering a few characters that are in the same universe and also, well, let's say multiverse, and the shows are on the CW. So I'll also include Stargirl and Superman and Lois. But since there's nothing really connecting Naomi to the Arrowverse at all, I'm not going to be considering that show at all for this ranking. But if you want to know where she'd be in last place. In 11th place, we have Batwoman. And with it, I decided to put her, this is the Kate Kane version, in last place because she just didn't have too much development. And with her, she, honestly, I just keep her in last place because the first season wasn't that good, and she didn't really have any time to improve. And I'll talk about her successor next, and that is since Ryan Wilder takes 10th place on this list, and with it, she was mm, got some better stuff in season 3. It wasn't much better in my opinion. I didn't enjoy this show at all, but since she had a little more time, I would rank her just above Kate Kane, but it's honestly, I could go either way for them. And the characters were not great, and as I said, I could go either way with these characters. And ninth place I give to Rip Hunter, and this is basically from here on. I enjoyed all these characters, and the reason I just put Rip Hunter at ninth place is because he only had one season and then a handful of episodes throughout the rest of the show, so I just couldn't justify putting him any higher, but I really enjoy Rip Hunter as a character, and I feel like if he was kept on Legends of Tomorrow for longer, he would jump up a lot higher on this list. But since he's only a major character in season 1 and is a supporting character for seasons 2 and 3, and then appears one more time in the last season of Legends, which was season 7, I just can't justify ranking him any higher. At number 8, I have Sarah Lance, and with her, I really enjoyed the character throughout both Arrow and Legends. She's a really great character, and I really like her as the lead of Legends of Tomorrow once she takes over in season 2. And with it, I think she's a great character. They did a great job with her, and it was really interesting to see her development. And I've got past the point, but I wanted to mention that for both Legends and Batwoman, I counted 2 show leads since they did have 2 leads for the show. I'm not considering any other members of the Legends for this, and for the rest of them, oh, and Superman and Lois, but Superman and Lois has 2 characters in the title, so they'll be considered as both the leads of the show. I'm not looking at other members of the Legends since these were the main characters of the show. Rip for season 1 and Sarah for the rest of it. And going next, at 7th place, I had to put Supergirl. And with it, although I liked both Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow more than Supergirl, which Sarah Lance appeared in both, I think the character of Supergirl was just a genuinely better one, although the show was pretty bad and she was great in crossovers and stuff. But honestly, I just didn't like the show, and if I liked the show more, she probably could have got way better on ranking in the list. But since the show, in my opinion, wasn't that good, I don't think I could justify putting her any higher because I enjoyed all the characters a lot more than her on this list. And That's mainly because the storytelling with him was a lot better, but she is still a really good character. Going next at sixth place, I realized I kind of lied here, since Constantine was a legend, but since he had his own show, I'm counting both that show and Legends. And I haven't seen the show in a while because it was just taking off streaming services and everything. I think it was only like available to be paid for, and I'll check again with my next Arrowverse rewatch, which will be starting basically right after I finish making this video. Then I had to wait for Arrowverse to turn 10 years old to start it, since I was already around that time. But Constantine's a really great character. He was really falling with how dark his storylines are, and I think Matt Ryan is the best version of Constantine. Although I'd like the animated version more, played by Matt Ryan, than the live action version. I still think he did a great job as the character in both his show, which kind of puts it down a little bit since it was ended before the show could even finish its first season. And then there's also the fact that he was pretty good in Legends, and even though he wasn't the lead, he still had a solid role on it. Even though the show got, pretty ridiculous, I still loved Legends. I'm giving fifth place to Lois Lane, and the main reason for that is she's just a really great character on Superman and Lois, and it's pretty crazy that she's ranking higher than some pretty big names on here. Some of them are originals, but characters like Supergirl are, ranked below her, and I think most people, at least if you're talking about comic versions, would think that's ridiculous, but Lois Lane is so well done in the show Superman and Lois, which is connected to the Arrowverse. I just really had to rank her this high. The other characters above her are just so great that they're better than her, but I still think that Lois Lane is a great character and it definitely deserves to be up here at fifth place. Just making it outside of the top three is Courtney Whitmore, aka Stargirl. And with it, she's a really great character on her show, and I really enjoy her as a character. And I think that she's really well written and really interesting, but just the top three are characters that I just love so much that how they're done. They just go above her. Stargirl is still a great show, and she's a great lead for it, but I don't think she ranks up with the other characters on this list because I think you know who the top three are. It's obviously Superman, The Flash, and the Arrow, or Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, and everything else he's called. But she's still really solid, and I think it's really great that she is. It really says something that she is just below those heroes on this list. I had to give third place to The Flash, even though I loved the show. I think they did a great job with it. I just didn't can't put The Flash any higher. For a while, it was one of my favorite shows, and it still is. Some of the seasons aren't amazing, but I just think Barry Allen is not as compelling of a character as both Superman and Oliver, and with it, that's just really why he is here. He's basically tied with the other two, and it's really close to how we would rank them. And this is the only reason that he is at this place because I just think the other two characters above him, Superman and Green Arrow, are just a little bit better. Let's go into second place with Superman. And yeah, basically the reason Superman is below my first place, which is going to be Oliver Queen, is because although he's had a great 2 seasons, it's still just 2 seasons, and although he was good on Supergirl, he wasn't amazing, and that's just Oliver also had season 4 of Arrow, but with it, I think that Superman is just below Oliver. I think you could go either way with it, but I'm just putting Oliver just slightly ahead, which I'll talk more about when I get to him. But Superman's a great character in Superman and Lois. He is really well written and is the best written of all the characters on this list. And he's a really great lead to the show. It's just, I like Oliver a little more, which I'll go into the reasons for now. And the final character, obviously, as I said before, is Oliver Queen, aka the Arrow, aka the Hood, aka the Green Arrow, aka the Spectre. And with that, he's just the best character in the Arrowverse. And although I would have said The Flash was my favorite at one point, after thinking of it, I think that Arrow is my favorite, followed by The Flash. And Superman and Lois is definitely getting up there, although it's not Arrowverse. So I'd say it's, even when it's Superman and Lois, I could put it above The Flash. I'm not fully sure yet. I'll have to see what they do with season 3 of Superman and Lois and the final season of The Flash. But with it, Arrow is. I'll just go for him as the Arrow for this, since that's what he was for the best season, season 2. Although I really like season 8 also. But still, I really just love this character. He was mainly well written, besides season 4, which was completely terrible, and is the one of the few things that's holding him back. One of the main problems, but still, it's a really solid character for Oliver. He is a little more Batman, but I still like it. This is the first ever version of Green Arrow I ever really got to know. I may have seen him in an episode of like Justice League or something when I was really young, but that was around when it was they were still airing or just finished airing that show. And with it, this is the first one I truly got to know, and this is my favorite version of the Green Arrow. And I just really love the character. He is really compelling, and as I said, mainly has great stories. Yeah, that's just my ranking. I really enjoyed the Arrowverse as a whole, and I can't believe that it's been out for a decade. Even though I started watching when The Flash premiered, I still really enjoy this universe. I think they did a great job with it, and I just really want to know what you think about my ranking. How would you rank the characters? Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.